Hello, my name is Pavel, and I would like to warmly welcome you to this very short and very effective Neuron tutorial. When you first time log to NeuronWriter, or if you just log to NeuronWriter, you will see the list of the project. So what is the project? The project is a folder where you can store your optimizations. So every time when you do the new query, new optimization, you have to choose the project for it. And a project just like a folder. It could be domain related, and then you type a domain, let's say yourdomain.com, or it could be not related to a domain, just a folder with a name, with any name. And then you can store there any kind of content that you would like to. So if you have a, for example, customer, you can just call this folder customers and then keep hundreds of analyses there to have a separate folder for your customers, and you can have a domain related project. What you are setting up in the domain related, let's say adidas.com, then you type a homepage, choose the language and default search engine. When the project is set up, here are a few additional options for a project. So if you are clicking here on the project settings, you can have information about, first of all, about your domain, default search engine, default language, the keywords that you would like to rank for, the branded keywords, the keywords that you don't like, for example, like competitor keywords. Here you can set up a competitors as well. It's quite important because we are using those competitor websites to analyze what content is missing on your website. If you open a specific project, the default view is a view of your content writer's queries. So here you have a queries, the terms that you are searching in Google, how to rank for, and information about those queries, like what was the search engine and the language where they were made, who is responsible for content, when is the deadline for content, how long the content is or should be. You can use the tags to do a lot of tagging, and also with the custom tags. So you can just add something like, okay, I would like to have this on the homepage or product description and so on. So you are really free to go with the with this, how you play the process with your content production, with your content optimization. And here you have short actions like open the content editor, renew or create new optimization based on the specific keyword, or just delete, which means archive or remove from this view. So that's the main view of the table. Here you have a few columns more. So for example, you can have a volume on the keyword, you can have a volume trends where they are visible and so on, the paid competitors, and how much is the typical cost per click and so on. So you can have a few more, but just switch on off those which are really important for you, so your view will be more clear. If you have a lot of analysis or queries in a single folder, you can very easily filter them out. So for example, you can use the filters to just make visible only the content that Eva is responsible for. And now we have only 2 rows where Eva is responsible, or for example, those which are not delivered yet, or in progress, or done, or for category pages, and so on and so on. So all the tagging that you figured out that will be useful for you are available here, and you can just use them to filter the data. When you start to work and you would like to know how to write and what to write to rank #1 in Google, you just start with the new query. And new query is exactly the same process like you typing in Google for a search. Yeah, so you would like to know something and you just type in Google. So it's exactly the same process. So let's start. You would like to know what are best shoes for the marathon, and they are up to date with the new models. You can of course change the language, you can change the country. Here in the advanced settings, you can add few more keywords that will be also added to the content. It's just up to you Those keywords will be also added to your recommendation when the search is done. You can also assign the content to a person, let's say our Eva, and you can set up expected delivery date, so when the content should be ready. And then just click start, and that's exactly all what you have to do to write a new query. When the query is ready, there is a most important moment. You need to choose the right competitors, the right type of content. Look on these results. So first of all, here we have some results which are block results where someone comparing the type running shoes for 2022. There is a results from a Twitter, there are some results from a category pages, and basically there is a lot of mixed results. Sometimes you have only the product results, sometimes you will have only the block results, but in this case you have a lot of mixed results. So very important information here is that first of all, you have to choose the right type of content. So if you would like to create a blog post, just try to choose only the blog post. If you would like to create a product description, try to use the product description pages. If you would like to create a category page, try to use only category pages as your competitors. It's really important because all the recommendations that you will have are based on the competitors that you are choosing right now. So I will do this together with you. So first of all, let's say I'm going to write because the best shoes for the marathon, I'm mostly the best and what and who. So comparison pages are mostly blog pages, blog or landing pages. So we are talking here about the way how the user can compare different shoes in I would say, a very useful manner. So it's like article listing. Okay, so the second one, it's not really related. Third one, fourth one, and so on, and so on, and so on. They are related. And this one as well. So I would go for something which is high content. For example, here we have a best shoes for autumn 2020. Here we have a marathon shoes because we are mostly looking for a marathon shoes, not just the running shoes, but the marathon shoes. So I would say maybe this note and maybe this note as well. So here we have best marathon, but just best running shoes, maybe not. So I'm just looking for the best marathon shoes. Of course, they are ranking for the best shoes because there is something about the marathon in them and the domain is strong, but we are really focusing on the marathon shoes. So shoes for the marathon. And so that's all. I would say this is what I choose. And then you just click next to open the editor window.
Welcome in Content Editor window. This is the window where copywriter spends about 90% of time. And this window is basically built with three main elements. So you have a top menu, left side, which just contains the editor, the text editor, and the right side where you have information about recommended topics and ideas. So this is basically those three elements which build the interface. In the top menu, you have top analysis, internal linking suggestions, what to write next, search console integration, and comments basically on the URL level, and the query and the market, so language and the Google search engine country. Here you have a target URL, so you can add manually or you can find a URL which is, let's say, best for this content that you would like to create, or maybe optimize, because if you have already content, you can optimize this content. And here you have option to share with an editor, so it's like with freelancers who can just edit the content, or you can also share with a customer for acceptation. So this is like more like view or preview link. In the left side, you have a content editor window. So this is the content editor window. You have some options like, the saving, exporting, importing, checking the plagiarism, marking as a done. So when the content is ready, you can just mark it as a done. And then there will be information to person who share with you the content that it's ready. And typical information about how to play with your content. So I believe this is clear. Here you have information about readability score, so how easy is to read and understand your content. And here are the information about about length, yes, so how long is your content, how many words contains. And here is some also recommendation. So here is recommendation about that article to rank for this keyword should be about 2,700 words long. So you can just check this and change this as well. Okay, so that was the left side, and on the right side you have the most important elements according to NLP optimization. So here are the terms which should be included in the article to give you the ability to score higher. So this is the optimization factor. And as you can see, we start with two elements, basic keywords. And if you are thinking about what are the basic keywords, are the keywords which are like most common for this type of query. So they are just in almost every article. And we have also extended terms. As you can see, here is a lot of extended terms. And in extended terms, you have terms which are not always present in competitors' content, but this means that they are more expertise level. It could be more expertise level, it could be less important, but basically we always try to explain that, yeah, start with the extended keywords, because if you start with the extended keywords, surely you will cover the basic keywords as well, because for example, here we have like best marathon shoes, 7 best marathon running shoes, and here you have the running shoes. Yes, so of course, best marathon running shoes. So of course, when you start with those ones will be as well covered. So I will just, yeah. So this is how basically this works. And also we have here the terms in the headers. So that are the recommendation in H1 headers, H2 headers, H3 headers, and so on. So what kind of keywords, words, terms use in the headers? Here on the top, you have a content score number. So it's just a scoring, how good is your content. And when you will write the content, your content score will be higher and higher. Here we are giving you the recommendation about the best competitors content. As you remember, we select some competitors because so that's are the competitors we selected. And we are giving you the number, which is the best content score from the selected competitors. If you don't know what to do next or how to increase the content score, you can always use the checklist. So the checklist is very, very important element, because the checklist will give you the information what is still missing, what you still have to improve. And this is basically very, very important element in content editor. So to understand where are improvements, what can I do to increase the content score. So that's all. And also here we have one thing more, which is, I will just give you also the example here. Just copy text to the editor. Also we have, if you just highlight any text, we have option for AI writing. Right now the AI writing have only 3 options: start paragraph, extend, and rephrase. So I will just use start paragraph. And now the AI is generating the content for us. As you see, okay, we will just say, okay, use this text. I will use the H1, and we have here a text generated by the AI. As you can see, there is already some points calculated here. I can check where are the keywords. Here are the terms which are related to the sidebar, but as you can see, there is still a lot of elements on H elements, on the terms elements that has to be still included in the content. And right now also you have information what to do on the overall score to improve the overall score.
Thanks for watching. Check product link in video description.